You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology podcast. Welcome to the Free Spirit Astrology podcast. I am your host, Brandy Williams. Not a lot going on this week as we build into this Scorpio full moon that's taking place next Monday. We're going to get into that today too because it's all kind of connected. So Monday, May 5th, happy Cinco de Mayo for all who celebrate. Don't drink and drive. We have Mercury in Aries, sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. So Mercury is our mind and our mental process and all those things in the sign of Aries, very fiery, sextiling Jupiter, who's in Gemini, which is the sign that Mercury rules or hosts. So this has got some nice reception. So we're starting off the week with some energy, bringing a lot of open-mindedness, positive communication. There could be some good networking opportunities today or getting together with somebody, good study sessions. This is a good time to learn something or for something to stick. So if it is finals week or coming up to finals week and you have a study session, this is probably a good time to study because something is going to really start making a lot of sense this week. We could have a lot of energy to want to try some new things, put some new projects together, and that's just going to give us some good opportunities in the future. We definitely want with this energy to go into something with more of a student's mindset, a beginner's mindset, because Jupiter in Gemini, sextiling Mercury and Aries, that fire and air can get a little arrogant, can get a little cocky, like I know what I'm doing, I got this, and there could be a overpromise, under-deliver situation, or I thought I had it, and there can be like a bit of embarrassment or something in front of people. So you just want to take the opportunity this week to, check something twice and be open to learning new things. Then tomorrow, May 6th, we have Venus in Aries, sextiling Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So we have more Aries energy, more fire. Pluto just went retrograde yesterday. Did y'all feel like really lethargic and anxious and stuff? I don't know why they call it losing your temper because I definitely found mine, but I'm in this Pluto square. Enough about me. Anyways, we're definitely building up to that Scorpio full moon with this transit. Venus in Aries is our pursuits and our motivations to get things for ourselves and to ask for the things that we want, our money and our relationships, in a really productive conversation with what is trying to be undone so that we could do something better and do something that's more authentic. So this is an illumination of some feelings that could be coming up, some feelings about the roles that we play in our own self-worth and how we get what we want and how we feel about ourselves and the type of people we attract due to those feelings of self-worth. How comfortable are we with receiving and asking for support? Those things are going to be coming up. And also just some realizations and insights about the kinds of relationships that we are in. Some of our relationships could be with people who we are outgrowing, or we're starting to just notice some things. Perhaps we are or have been around people who they clap for us and they are supportive of us as long as we're not doing more than them. So you can see some things like that. You can see things with frenemy type people who kind of want to exert a certain type of authority over you. And you can also see people who you may have been a little nose blind to, like, man, this person's always been around, but you know what? This person is kind of loyal. This person is kind of like a real one. This person is more of a root friend than I thought, right? So, or there could just be a situation that happens that brings two people closer together. Like, man, I really appreciate how you supported me through this thing, or you made time for me and held space for me. And that could bring a deeper, closer, more intense connection, which is something that Pluto and Venus tend to do. A lot of sexual energy could be deepened during this time between people in certain relationships, and just a deeper understanding of our own tendency to self-sabotage, our own self-limiting thoughts, and the things that we attract from that space, or the money we spend from being around the wrong people, things like that. And then on the same day, we have Mercury in Aries conjunct Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is our wounded healer. It's our counselor. Purpose in Aries is to notice how we've been wounded and how we can heal that so we could reincorporate this wholeness or whatever that means. Just, how can we go about healing ourselves, finding the medicine to really reconnect to ourselves and love ourselves more? Because Chiron never actually heals, but the more self-work we do, the more we can really extract the medicine from pain and suffering that we've endured in this life's journey. And we can integrate that into self-love and also teaching other people how to be in that space. Mercury conjunct Chiron is going to bring us a deeper understanding of our wounds. This can happen in some kind of coaching session, a one-on-one therapy session, talk with a good friend, that person who really held space for you. That this could also be extracting medicine from our own shadow work and journaling, because that Scorpio energy that we're building up into with that full moon is very investigative, and it allows us to really sit in something, sit in our own feelings and our own emotions. We could be paying more attention to our dreams, really trying to figure out what they mean, putting it in chat, or journaling and really sitting with self and just exploring ourselves. Then we're going to skip down to Saturday, May 10th. Mercury is going to enter into the sign of Taurus. So Mercury is currently in Aries. It's, action packed, want to take action. It is ready to begin all the things and to make moves. And usually when Mercury goes into Taurus, this is a time where we tend to expect results. Put our ideas out there. We created something with Mercury and Aries. So, we're like, bam, I got all my ducks in a row. Everything's lined up. And in Taurus, we're waiting on that thing to materialize. We're like, okay, I need to see what I have in hand to determine if I'm being successful by holding and touching and seeing material security in life, the things that I've built. That's what that Taurus energy really means. And so there's usually a more slower and pondering and steady flow of the mind, because Taurus is trying to make sense of what it has, it's surveying, and then it's ultimately going to decide if it needs to go build something else or add on to something to sustain the security that it wants and desires. But this season, we still have Uranus at the very end of Taurus. So there's a little electricity happening in the mind in this Taurus space. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So Mercury is like the local mind. It is like our everyday thought process, is what we think about, how we navigate our day-to-day stuff. And Uranus is the higher mind, that cosmic mind. That mind is really plugged into the voice of God. So I feel like when Uranus is still in the same domain as Mercury is in right now, they're related, right? I feel like Mercury is going to be more charged and still in a very innovative type of mindset. So some of the things we can expect with this Mercury in Taurus could be sudden insights and creative breakthroughs, brilliant ideas that we are wanting to implement. Also, there's going to be discipline, because Mercury is in Taurus, on which ideas are practical and which ideas make sense to implement. But this is looking like, really good mental wealth here with these aha moments and light bulb moments. And Uranus is also in Taurus sextiling the North Node. So I feel like this energy is really putting us into those future timelines, placing us in this right place, right time type of vibe. And Mercury is also going to be coming into a square with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So we're starting to see some of the ways that we could be thinking that kind of gets in the way, and really trying to clear that, going into big ideas that we can't even see yet, but we feel and we've been receiving downloads that this thing is really possible. And so then there is courage to really implement those things. Also, Mercury coming into that square with Pluto is also sudden information, the tea being spilled on something, somebody's being exposed, something is being exposed. So we can see some things with that, some unexpected plot twists, cathartic conversations. Once again, that's coming up for this week. Just some really good breakthroughs. And there could be an authentic conversation between somebody that really inspires another person to be vulnerable. So that's some things we want to look out for. Just a really emotionally intense week, but also brilliant thoughts. And that is going to build over the weekend. So the intensity, the emotions, the feelings are going to build. We're going to be in our feelings probably by this weekend. And that's going to lead us right into Monday, where we're going to have a full moon in Scorpio. So that is Monday, May 12th. And I'll probably talk about this a little bit more on next Monday's podcast, but I'll go ahead and drop that here because I want to kind of keep it connected. So the sun will be in Taurus, the moon will be in Scorpio, and they're opposites because that is how we see the moon when the sun is shining its full brightness on the entire moon, showcasing all the things that she wants to tell us. And so she's in Scorpio, so these are some intense feelings. Scorpio is kind of got that goth vibe. It's dark, it's emotional, it's deep, it's not afraid to go deep. It goes deep, okay? And so this is going to be an intense full moon. The moon doesn't really like being in Scorpio. First off, because the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, but also the moon likes harmony and groundedness and to be in simplicity and practicality and to just observe and, feel secure and comfortable and nurturing and safe. But things get really deep in Scorpio because Scorpio, like I said, is not afraid to investigate and to go deep inside of something and to really look at something intensely. So, this kind of pertains to our career pursuits as well because we're not afraid to go into the logistics of things and really see how something is working. But Scorpio deals with emotions and how we merge with other people a lot. So this is going to be bringing up some very heavy situations and intense emotions. So this full moon could possibly be connected to that Mars and Pluto opposition. There were 3 since last November. It could be connected to all 3 of them because Mars is the traditional ruler of the Scorpio energy. Pluto is the modern day ruler of Scorpio energy. So they're both influencing this full moon and perhaps shedding light on some type of situation that we have probably been dealing with for a while, but if not at least since November of 2024. There is something that could feel very stifling, something that could feel like it's holding us back. This could be some kind of habit. This could be a close relationship. This could be a person who feels like they are kind of boxing us in or overpowering us, exerting power over us. This could be a money venture, money we share with other people. So shared resources, the energy that we give other people and the energy that other people take from us, whether we want them to or not. This could be money we make with another individual. So some type of partnership, something at work. This is just something that could be possibly blocking our peace and prosperity. And when the moon is in Scorpio, we get to really allow ourselves to receive the revelations and the messages of how are we also contributing to that? Are we in an enmeshed situation, a codependent situation, a situation that we are addicted to, attached to, obsessed with? Those are all kind of key words in the Scorpio realm. And is this situation really blocking us from the things that we say we want? So that's been kind of coming up with a lot of different transits in the past, I don't know, since I started doing astrology. It's all a spiral and a cycle. It's all connected, but we're always, the heavens, the cosmos, God is always trying to get us on path to our higher self, our best selves. And that's always evolving and moving and shifting because we're alive and everything that is alive grows. So this could be, some type of situation that we know we need to let go of, some type of addiction, attachment, some type of toxic situation, cord, what have you. Sneaky link. I ain't judging, but it's something. Now, if it's not something, if it's not one of us, it might be somebody who's close to us, who we feel connected to. And there is a very investigative energy. So perhaps we know that one of our loved ones is doing something. Their situation could be affecting us to the point where we may be trying to intervene. But this is a time where we want to use discernment and ask if we are going too far into another person's journey, because that could turn into some kind of conflict with that person. So instead, we want to pray for them, send them healing and liberation frequencies, but ultimately focus on our own journey because we probably have some things to tend to. And no matter how much we want to, we can't save anyone but ourselves. But if this is you going through the thing that is codependency, attachment, addiction, all the things, toxic behaviors and spending patterns, there's something that you probably already know that needs to end. You've been trying, but this thing has to end. And it has to end because it's literally sucking the soul out of you, or it just feels very heavy and very exhausting, which is another huge indication that this ain't it. This ain't it for you. So this is a full moon where you want to be honest with yourself, trust the revelations, because it's not too late to get off the path that you really don't want to be on. So that's all I have for this week. I'll talk about full moon in Scorpio a little bit more next week. Just wanted to give you a little insight of what's to come this weekend. If no one has told you lately, I love you. I'm proud of you. I see some tough decisions, but also some really, really good things going on for you. And it's going to be so worth it. So see you next week. Bye. You are listening to the Free Spirit Astrology Podcast.